Ariel Helwani for mmarated.com, standing next to former WWE champion, now turned mixed martial artist, Bobby Lashley. How are you doing, Bobby?
I'm doing great.
Everyone's very excited to see you finally kind of step in there into the world of MMA and get your shot. We obviously know that you've signed with the American Fight League. When are you going to be fighting next?
Well, we're working on a contract right now. I think I have a fight in December. That's the date we have planned, and I think the contract will be signed this week, and then we'll start going on from there.
So the fight contract, you mean, not your situation with the AFL. You're signed, sealed, and delivered with them, right?
Well, I'm signed with the AFL, and we're looking. They're still getting everything together. Hopefully, they get everything together because that's what I tend to do. The 2 fights that I have or 3 fights that I have with them. However, they did. I guess the term being used now is loan me out. And I just need to get out there. I told them, while they're getting everything together, I need to start getting out there and getting some fights. So I have a fight in December scheduled. That's going to be my first one. And then hopefully we can go back to back and do one in December.
Yeah,
in January, I'm sorry.
Right. And originally we thought we were going to see you first for their pay-per-view in November. Now, as you mentioned, we've seen fighters like Tara La Rosa get loaned out. So who will you be fighting for? I mean, it's not going to be an AFL show. So under what promotion and against whom, if you know?
I don't know who it is, but I believe the show is going to be here in Miami.
That's it.
That's all I know right now. My agent's talking with the promoter of the show. I don't know who my opponent is. I'm here training with ATT, so whoever it is, I'm going to be ready.
Were you a little disappointed to hear that, kind of right off the bat, there seemed to be some troubles with them and now they have to loan people out and all that? Because obviously you were a huge free agent in the sport, especially now with the great things that Brock Lesnar is doing. A lot of eyes were on you and, kind of, like I said, off the bat, there seems to be some financial issues.
Well, I don't want to say that I'm disappointed because I'm not disappointed. In this sport, there's a training phase, and I'm not one to just jump up and fight the best right now. I'm going to work my way up, like I said before. I know everybody has these opinions of me, and some people are bad-mouthing me for being in the WWE. That was a job that I had, and don't take away from my years of wrestling. I wrestled for 18 years and accomplished a lot in wrestling. So I'm not disappointed that I don't have the fight in November. I'm confident in BJ. I hope BJ Santiago, the owner of AFL, I hope he does get it together because it'd be beneficial for me to get some fighting under his organization. But if he doesn't, that's how things are. I'm going to fight in December. It gives me a little bit more time to train. I'm a student of the game right now. No ego. I'm starting from ground zero. I'm here in ATT training my butt off. So in December, I'm going to be ready for my fight. And then we're going to build from there. If he gets together, he gets together. Then I keep fighting. If he doesn't, we start talking to other organizations, and I start working my way up from there.
Yeah, you mentioned an interesting point because there's obviously that stigma when you come from the world of professional wrestling, and here you are fighting with a virtual who's who in the world of mixed martial arts. At first, was it kind of hard to sort of gain their acceptance and tell them that you really are in this for real, and that you are willing to do what it takes to be an MMA champion one day?
Yeah, I keep telling people. I read stuff that people say about me on the internet, and they joke about me on the internet. I don't, WWE was a job that I had. Would I do it again? Of course I'd do it again. I made a lot of money. I'm able to do things for my family that I was never able to do before. But like I said before, I trained for wrestling for 18 years. I've been working with a boxing coach diligently for the last 5-6 months. I've been wrestling, going to the Olympic Training Center. I've been grappling. I've been learning jiu-jitsu. So I'm learning all this, and it kind of sickens me or hurts me that I wrestled the years that I wrestled, and it's a mixed martial arts. My martial art was wrestling. And some guy that never did anything takes a few jiu-jitsu classes, puts tap on the back of his car, and he has more credibility than I do. That's the only problem that I have with some of the people out there because they do badmouth somebody that they had a certain job. If somebody was a teacher, which some of the guys are that are at the high levels of UFC, they don't look back and say, oh, he was a teacher. They don't do that. But since I wrestled in the WWE, they have a problem with that. I just don't understand it. WWE, I would not change the fact that I went there. So if they badmouth me, but I will prove myself. I'm here at ATT. I think it's one of the best MMA clubs, jiu-jitsu clubs, whatever you want to say, in the world. I mean, they've proven it with the amount of champions that they have. There's other ones that are great, but I just chose ATT. Conan, the coach here, has been working with pretty hard, and I got a handful of training partners, so I am going to learn the game before I step into the cage or step into the ring. So when I do step into the cage, I will be impressive, and I'll show people that Bobby Lashley is not just a WWE guy. I'm not going to go with no antics. I'm not going to be cutting promos. I'm just going to be a student of the game. I'm going to learn the sport, and I'm going to work my way up, and soon I will be a champion of one of these organizations, whichever it may be.
For those who have followed your career, dating back to your debut in the WWE, it's interesting because you came following Brock Lesnar there. He left, and a lot of people thought that they were trying to make the new Brock Lesnar with you. And now you come in after Brock Lesnar is having a great start to his MMA career. How do you feel about those comparisons? Because obviously it's going to happen with your debut and beyond.
Yeah. It just happened to fall that way. I mean, I wasn't following Brock. I haven't even really met Brock, to tell you the truth. Really? I think what Brock's doing is great, and the thing that I like about Brock is that Brock goes into things and he doesn't do it half-assed. He doesn't. I mean, he wants to be the best, so he wants to prove himself right away. Yeah, people badmouth him for what he's doing, but look what the guy's done right now. He went to the UFC. He's drawing hundreds of thousands of pay-per-view buys. He's out there beating formidable opponents, people with many wins, losses, many matches under their belt. He tried out different things. He went straight to the top of the WWE in a short period of time. Then he went and tried out football. I mean, the guy really didn't do anything in college in football, but said, hey, I want to be professional football. He didn't go to Arena Bowl. He didn't go to flag football. He went straight to the top, and now he's going into fighting. The guy has nuts. If you have nothing to say about you, he has balls for doing the things that he did. I mean, he jumps in front of 650,000 people on his first MMA card and goes out there and fights as well, and then he keeps doing it. At least give the guy credit for that. I'm not following him, but I think what he's doing is pretty admirable, and hopefully he does win the title one day in the UFC, and hopefully he does get to prove himself, so someday people will say, well, that Brock guy, he is pretty tough, and he is actually dedicating himself to the sport, and he's actually a champion. He actually is a fighter. Give the guy credit. I mean,
that title victory might be coming sooner than we all thought. November 15th, he's facing Randy Couture. What are your thoughts on some of his antics at the end of his last fight against Heath Herring? A lot of people said that he was now bringing out the pro wrestling side of him. Is that something that you'd be interested in doing as well, to kind of build a character, so to speak?
He didn't do that in pro wrestling, so they can't really say that he bring out the pro wrestling antics. I mean, what he did, he was exciting, If I looked at many of the fights, I've seen many of the guys do the same thing, but since he was in professional wrestling, they badmouth him right away. I mean, if you look at it, I've seen many of guys do it. I've seen Anderson Silva do it, which he's at the top of his game, so nobody has a problem with that. I've seen you go through the ranks. People are jumping on the cage, flexing. Rampage is doing his stuff, yelling. I mean, everybody does it, but since he was in WWE, they badmouthed him for it. The guy was amped. He just won a big fight in front of a lot of people. Yeah, he jumped out, but give the guy a break. I mean, me, antics, no. I'm pretty a calm guy, I'm pretty dedicated to the sport, so I win. I'm going to be excited. Am I going to dance? Am I going to do anything wild? Probably not. But you know what? It wouldn't be bad to start building some characters in the UFC. Right. One thing we have is we have one guy fighting another guy, and then nobody gets to really know these guys. I mean, I talk to a lot of people that they love mixed martial arts, but they can't tell you 3 people in mixed martial arts. So it'd be nice to have a few people that have a little bit more character out there, so that we can build this sport and make it more entertaining. It's entertaining to those of us that are actually into sports and that knows what's going on, but yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more characters. I mean, there's a lot of people out there. I mean, Rampage, he has something going on. Chuck Liddell screaming, right. Man, he has something going on, and that's what people tune in to watch. So am I going to be that person? No, but I think that some of these other people are definitely people that I'd like to see make it big, make it stardom. There's people I trained down in AKA. There's a guy, Josh Thompson, Josh the Funk Thompson. Right. He is an incredible guy. When I went down there, that's the guy that can cross over and do some movies, because he has a tremendous amount of charisma and character. And also in AKA, they have that Cain Velasquez. That dude is... He's going to be a champion one day. I'm sorry for bringing him out. I know they're trying to hide him a little bit, but they can't hide him because he's tough as nails, and he's going to be a UFC champion someday. So that's the character also. Characters are going to come with this sport, and it'll be nice to see, because then people are going to tune in to watch a little bit more.
All right, well, clearly you are a student of the game, and if you are a student of the game, you would know that the UFC is la creme de la creme right now. Is that your ultimate goal, to one day fight inside the octagon?
Of course. You know, there's organizations that come and go. There's organizations that are here. I'm signed with the AFL. Hopefully the AFL stays around and I do something big with them and I can stay with them. But if not, the UFC's, you know, that's the, like you said, creme de la creme. That is the mecca. That is the Super Bowl of MMA, mixed martial arts. So, yeah, I'd love to be in the octagon one day, fighting whoever the champion is. With the training that I get here, hopefully I can stay a heavyweight. But if they keep killing me like they've been killing me down here, I might be a 205-pounder. You never know. But whoever it is, I want to be able to fight the best, and the best will be at UFC or Japan.
Or Japan. All right, well, first things first, Bobby Lashley hopefully going to be fighting in his first MMA bout this coming December, and we hope for great things there on out.